Hello, welcome to the 50th podcast of Collier-talks Cricket Memorabilia. Didn't realise it was 50, so it's gone very quickly. Enjoyed every minute of it, and I hope you have too. I expect you were thinking that Roger Packer might be appearing on your screen this week, but although it's edited, or nearly edited, I thought being the 50th I'd go over a few of the things that have meant a lot to me over the years and I've collected over the years. So some I've shown you before, some I haven't, so we'll go from there, celebrating the 50th podcast. But first of all, I'd just like to go back on last week when I mentioned the signature of G.F. Watts, and I failed to say what G.F. Watts done for the cricket world. And in the 1830s, 40s, he was doing lithographs of Alfred Min and the likes of Fuller Pilch and people like that. So that's what he did, and he done a few. Didn't do very many, but they're sought after by collectors and worth quite a bit of money. So there's one out of the that's the noblest game printing there. So that's what G.F. Watts did for cricket. He's obviously a big cricket fan as well. And going on to the lithograph situation, I've got 4 C.H. Baseby. In that era there was Watts, Baseby and Corb Anderson, then on to Felix. So I've got 4 Basebys here. This one, Roger Kynaston, which is quite a nice lithograph there. Next one is famous Alfred Min again. That's a nice lithograph there of George Baseby with Arthur Min. And then we have this little fella, George Taylor, Charles Taylor. A nice lithograph there. And this one here is George Langdon. This one, it's 4 in the series that I bought a few years ago, which are nicely presented in nice gold frames. So we'll just move on now to what turned up this week from Australia, which is a fantastic double photograph of the SS Orontes with the 1948 side, and also the Body Line series 1932-3. That's gone down very well in my collection. I'm really pleased to have that in there. So the Body Line one now gets rid of my facsimile one that I bought a few years ago. So don't see many of those around, the Body Line one, very rare. And it's fully signed, apart from Ferguson, the scorer. So I'm glad to have Pallaway on there. Well, that's a lovely addition to the collection. Another one that's I'm pretty proud of. This one is the print out of the Cricketers and Cricket Grounds 1895. This is William Gunn, signed print, or signed photograph should I say. This is I've had it nicely framed, so that's another nice one in the collection. And then we're going to go on to some of that I think I've already shown you, the signatures. This is an autograph book of Arthur McIntyre's benefit year, which is 1955. These are fully signed by all the counties. There's a little write up on Arthur McIntyre there. So he was actually my coach at the Oval many years ago. And there's a picture of him in his wicket keeping gloves there. Quite a nice one taken at the Oval. As I say, this has got all the counties. There's Surrey, there with all the big names in there, Surridge and the like, the Bedsers. This is a nice one, Peter Loader, Tony Locke. And then we go right the way through. I'll just do a couple. There's Gloucestershire in there. And who else have we got there? Glamorgan. So all the county sides. And also at the back here, we have Australian side, which is Ben O'Keefe Miller and his Merry Men. That I'm sure was taken at Brisbane. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. New Zealand 1973, that was added on by somebody after I bought it, and then I've added to it over the years with the likes of Henry Blofeld there, and another one here. There's a page here with cricket personalities in it, which I filled in quite nicely. There's all sorts of people on there, Mike Proctor and Barry Richards, Clive Lloyd, Gary Sobers is on there as well, I think. Gladstone Small, John Embury, Barry Richards there. So that's quite a nice set there. I did unfortunately get the Lashing side to sign it there, so if you can read some of those, you'll be very lucky. So that's quite a nice album. Unfortunately, that gets separated and ripped up and sold off individually, which is a Adidas sort of thing. But I've not drawn myself to doing that. Something else that I haven't shown is this lovely book here, Great Britain: The Voyage with the Mails, which gives you a pictorial vision of the trip from Tilbury right the way through to Brisbane. Nice pictures there, lots of Gibraltar Rock there. Some lovely photographs of Colombo, life in Colombo, which are these here with a snake charmer and things like that. It's a fantastic pictorial journey through. But the nice thing about this book is, this is 2021, and there's the 1920-21 side that signed it inside. Got a watercolour, like a rope effect around the outside there, which is nice. So you've got on there, you've got Wilfred Rhodes and Makepeace, Russell, Howell, Woolley, Hobbs, obviously, Rocky Wilson, and Johnny Douglas, who's captain. Not particularly successful tour for England. So that's quite a nice, very nice book actually. I'm pleased to own that. So next one is probably my pride and joy, which is, you can see on there, it is Australia 1932-33, and Eddie Painter. Eddie Painter's MCC Blazer from 1932-33. That's probably my pièce de résistance in the collecting world. I've got a couple of moth holes, but I think I might have if I was 100 years old. So that is my prized possession, along with the recent autograph book and things like that. So it's obviously got its own little story. Eddie Painter, famous, one of the most famous stories in cricket history, with he coming out of hospital and he had a temperature and tonsillitis in Brisbane, 32-33. England were in trouble, and he was listening to the radio with Bill Vose in the hospital, and he thought, well, better get back there and get batting. So he went back with the surprise of Douglas Jardine, went out to bat, got 83, and then in the second innings famously hit a 6 to win the game. So and win the Ashes, or retain the Ashes for England in 1932-3, or win the Ashes, should I say, after the Bradman effort in 1930. And that's the reason why we have Body Line, which is still talked about today in well, not particularly glowing terms, but there's quite a few little booklets out with on the Body Line, and one of my recent purchases was this little booklet here, AntiBody Line, which is quite a rare little booklet, and I'm quite pleased to have this. This came from Australia, a friend of mine in Australia, so I've just started reading it. It's telling us how Black and Blue, Woodfull and McCabe and all that lot were through the Body Line, and how unwelcome it really was. Anyway, so that's a little look back at some of probably the highlights of my collection. Obviously a lot more to see, but hopefully next week we'll have the Roger Packham interview. Some interesting things on there with Sussex interest and early cricket, some lithographs and early John Corbett Andersons. We've got some fascinating stuff. I mean, you could go on forever with Roger, but early cricket is his thing. So looking forward to just piecing the last bit of that together and showing you all. Anyway, see you next week. Cheers.